Wang Yaqin and Sam Chen are packing up belongings to be shipped out of Hong Kong, but they are not the ones leaving. China's increasing repression of civil liberties here has sparked a huge exodus.
Since I've been in jail, most of my friends have left Hong Kong. People who share my values are less visible now. That makes me feel lonely. I'm still grieving while others are moving on.
It's not the kind of work they or their peers would usually do, but most other firms are not willing to hire them. This moving company gives work to young people prosecuted for protest-related or political offenses. Wang got fired on the second day of his last job, which his boss blamed on pressure from higher up. He also says his bank accounts have been suspended, and from time to time he's followed and surveilled.
These are very direct impacts and part of everyday life for former political prisoners in this era. Just living a normal life is already a huge challenge. I don't dare to imagine my future.
Wang and Sam were part of the huge pro-democracy protest movement that made global headlines in 2019. Beijing responded by imposing the National Security Law, which gave the government new powers to prosecute many kinds of dissent once lawful in Hong Kong. Since the protest, over 10,000 people have been arrested, and that number is still growing. Official figures say around 40% of those arrested were students, like Wang and Sam. They started a student activist group after the demonstrations to call for continued resistance, but ended up in jail for around 2 years for conspiracy to incite subversion. Since being released late last year, Wang, like many other opposition figures, usually keeps a low profile. Today is an exception. He's launching a new t-shirt brand at a pro-protest grocery store. Many of his customers are activists or other former prisoners.
I went to jail for sedition because I clapped at a dissident's hearing. I am 70 years old. I don't care much about the price when I shop here, because it's one little thing I can do to support the released dissidents.
Wang's launch day is the same day as Hong Kong implements a second security law, limiting dissent even further. Despite the risk, Wang and Sam have spoken out about the alleged abuse of young prisoners. And for Wang, designing t-shirts is a subtle way to share his thoughts with the public. Some of them have the slogan, "Our Homeland."
For our generation, what happened was a trauma that may not get healed for the rest of our lives. Although my love for Hong Kong is painful, it still outweighs hatred. Whatever bad situations we face, we can still have choices and create meaning in our lives. That's the lesson I learned from my time in prison. For me, I want to walk alongside those still suffering.
Wang and Sam plan to go back to university soon. They used to dream of becoming social workers, but their political convictions would rule that out. Despite the hurdles, they're choosing to stay and try to rebuild a life in what many call the new Hong Kong.
Subscribe to Oneindia channel and never miss an update.